So here Loretta Lynch, the women who fought to restore faith in justice, right? In April 2015 here, after one of the longest confirmation battle in US history, Loretta Lynch, right, finally became the first African American, women to hold the position of Attorney General, right, the highest law officers in the country. Just 2 days later, the streets of Baltimore erupted in anger and violence, right, after the death of Freddie Gray, a young black man, who suffered fatal injuries in police custody. His case was not an isolated one, from Ferguson, Missouri, where an unarmed teenager was shot by police, right, by police. The South Carolina, where another unarmed black man was gunned down while fleeing, right. America was facing a deep crisis, of trust in its justice system, and into this storm, stepped Loretta Lynch. So here the roots in struggle and faith, born in North Carolina in 1959, Loretta grew up in the world where law and justice, were not always the same thing. In the segregated South, Jim Crow laws dictated nearly every part of life, from separated schools and buses, right, here, to provisions in interracial marriage, right, even the segregated cemeteries, right. Her father here, Reverend Lorenzo Lynch, a pastor, believed the law could still be a tool for change, while others told black children, to stay away from the courthouses, right, from the courthouses. He would take little Loretta, by the hand and walk her inside, right, teaching her to see justice not as an enemy, right, but as a dream worth fighting for. Her mother Lauren, also taught resilience when teachers doubted Loretta's intelligence, asking her to retake tests, simply because they couldn't believe in young black girl, could outperform white classmates. She proved them wrong every single time, right. So dreams and discipline here. Loretta Lynch, right, chased a childhood dream of studying at Harvard, right, at Harvard. Okay, she graduated in English literature before turning to law, right. Unlike many students of her era, she wasn't a radical protester, but she stood out for her discipline, right. Friends remember her always dressed sharp, never casual, always carrying herself like a professional she was destined to become, right. Breaking barriers here, in the mid 1980s, she entered the legal world of New York, an environment still dominated by white men alongside two other black women. She jokingly called themselves that the triplet because receptionists couldn't even tell them apart. Subtle racism was everywhere, but Loretta never carried bitterness. Instead, she carried focus. Her defining moments came in 1999, when he prosecuted, the case of Abner Loima, a Haitian, immigrant, brutally beaten by police, right. The defense tried to argue that one of the officers couldn't be racist, but he had a black girlfriend, right. Loretta calmly but firmly shut this down, declaring he was hiding behind the color of his girlfriend's skin. It was dangerous, it was totally dangerous, high pressure work, but her calm strength never wavered, right. So calm under fire, that same calm could carry her through her Senate confirmation hearings, right, where she endured long hours of hostile questioning, right. Her Friends later admitted they were angered by how unfairly she was treated. But Loretta's response was simple. That's okay. Let's keep our eyes on the prize, right? She was not only a brilliant lawyer, but also consummate consummate professional, measured, composed, and utterly focused on justice. So legacy and the lesson here, what is the lesson and the legacy here? When Loretta Lynch took office, she faced one of the most difficult challenges in modern Africa: restoring faith in a justice system scared by racial inequality and mistrust. Her story reminds us of something powerful, that even when society doubts you, your hard work can prove them wrong, right? That justice is not automatic. It requires courage, discipline, and unwavering integrity. That true leadership is calm under fire, not loud in the spotlight. Loretta Lynch's journey here, from a little girl in segregated south to the highest lawyer in the land, right, is a testament to resilience, hope, and belief that justice is worth for fighting for. So her life teaches us that no matter what, no matter how broken the system seems, individuals with courage and integrity can become the force that changes it, right? So yeah.